Hello and welcome to my very first education video for destroyers. I will be explaining advanced destroyer tactics in this video. Should you be new to destroyers, you should also have a look at T-Ball and Mark Aka White. T-Ball is English, Mark is German speaking. On their YouTube channels they have very good basic tutorials how to run a destroyer and what is the basic behavior and the basic task of a destroyer. Having said that, let's get started. We are looking at the French line, a Tier 7 Le Fantasque destroyer. The French line doesn't have any smoke, so you need to rely on your speed and your concealment. That is why I run a double concealment build with Mr. Bay and Mr. Swirsky, 16.4 and 16.3 legendary. The focus in this skill is on torpedoes and concealment and speed. The first perk, we have the torpedo reload and the torpedo speed. In the third skill perk, we have the extended range, which will give you a 9.3 kilometer range. In the fourth perk, we have additional speed, and the legendary skill will give you additional speed if you get into range of the enemy ship. On legendary 3, that is within 6 kilometers of an enemy's ship, you will get 10% additional speed, which is perfect if you ambush enemy ships. So now, most important on Mr. Aubignon is the second perk. From left to right, you have a 6% concealment with no drawback. The middle is 10% concealment with a 10% reduced HP. And on the right, you can see a 20% increased concealment, but you lose the reload time of the engine boost. It will be reduced by 50%. So what does this skill mean? It means while you turn on the engine boost, your concealment will drop further 20%. When choosing the speed boost perk over the middle perk, you will keep your 18,500 HP and not get the drawback to lose 10%. When we come to the artillery, in this configuration we are not playing this ship as a gunboat, so we don't care for the reload. Still, it's a capable gunboat, but we don't configure it like this at the moment, because we rely on the torpedoes and we have one reload booster in case we engage destroyers. Torpedo wise, we have a 62-second reload and 9.6 kilometer range, which is perfect to ambush radar cruisers without or staying outside their 9 kilometer radar range. With 46 knots and 20% increase from the speed boost, this ship can do 56 while the speed boost is active, which is very good to rush the enemy. Coming to concealment, it will show you 5.3 basic concealment in this configuration, and now you deduct 20% while speed boost is active. So you will be left with 4.2 to 4.3 kilometer concealment if you're running on speed boost. And this game is going to show why this can be very useful and very disturbing for the enemy. So we are starting at B. We don't see any radar cruiser in this game, and that is why I'm taking a risky move just to go straight forward. Unlike you have probably read the tips whenever the game starts, going through the middle is not the best idea. This time it is a good idea, because on this map usually everybody spreads out either to A or C cap. So we make use of this and expect everybody to spread out. Since we have only 2 DDs, usually they go to A and C. If there was a third DD, of course I wouldn't rush that far, because usually the third DD stays in the middle or at least flanking the middle. So this is really a specific situation. We analyze from the start what ships are there and where are they most likely going to move. Coming back to destroyers, what is your task? Your task is play the objective. That means you have to cap and you have to kill the battleships. This is your primary objective. Forget about people telling you you have to kill the destroyers. Yes, you're gonna kill the destroyers, but it's the task of the cruisers to kill the destroyers. And it's the task of the battleship to kill the cruisers. So stick to that and assist where it's possible. You don't want to engage a destroyer early on with 6 or 8 ships aiming at you and gunning you down immediately. So back to this situation. We're aiming at the and we are trying to get some shots out to the right to this bunch of campers. Because I entered their home cap, everybody now is heading back because obviously they are pretty much afraid and they're trying to find me. But as you can see, I'm within 4.3, 4.4 kilometers of their range and I'm undetected. So I'm pretty unlucky. A plane spots me in a few seconds. But still I got a lot of shots out and there's no point to stay in the cap at the moment because we reached everything we wanted to reach. We prevented them from capping A because they're coming back. And now the cruisers are chasing me. So the mistake most people now do is they're throwing out torpedoes on the cruisers. That's a waste at this stage because the cruisers are very versatile. They're moving around and you're most probably going to miss those. So we're going to drop the torps on the battleship, hoping to hit 1 or 2 and maybe cause a flooding if he caught a fire early on and used the damage control. And then again, we're not turning right, we're turning left and going for the C cap as our ships are on the C cap. And it's quite equal in terms of amount of ships and C, so we can make a difference and we're coming into their back. So we're still aiming at the battleships and you can see that the next battleship is coming towards us if you look at the minimap. So we don't throw the torps randomly on the cruisers, we save the reload time for the battleship. And now as soon as the battleship gets closer, we are unleashing the first set of torpedoes. So we put it into his aim assist because we expect him to keep the pass. And now we're waiting 10 seconds before we unleash the next because the damage control has a runtime of 10 seconds. So if we hit after 10 seconds a second time, we may cause a flooding and that could be a permanent flooding. So if I'm not sure I can really kill a battleship with 2 sets, I usually send them with a distance of more than 10 seconds to cause the flooding. Unfortunately for me, the first torpedo didn't trigger a flood, so he didn't use the damage control. So we're just getting the hits. But still we're sticking on the Colorado to kill it on our way to sea. And we now expect the Colorado to turn, but looking at his guns, they are pointing to the left. So it's not very likely he's completely turning out again. I expect him to turn further left, but he may also keep his pass, so that's why I dropped the first set that direction. And now you can see he's gonna turn, so I give it a little bit lead to hit him once he reaches course and speeds up a bit. You have to know that while you do a turn, the ships slow down. This is also very excellent if you have to avoid torpedoes or need to make a fast turn. Make sure you reduce the engine speed very quickly because your ships will be turning faster. They won't drift and then you speed up again. And also the battleships, while they turn, they slow down heavily and they speed up again. So the aim assist usually is a bit too slow once the battleships turn around. If you want to aim a battleship in a turn and you expect them to move straight forward soon after, you probably need to double or triple the aim assist. So back to the situation here. We now plan to cap C And you always should do the caps because they really pay out. It gives a lot of XP and silver. And if you get 1 or 2 caps each game, not only will you probably most of the time win the games, but you also make a lot of money, you make a lot of Captain XP, you make a lot of Global XP. And Captain XP, they are very useful to buy universal promotions from the store. Because as soon as you have leveled a captain to legendary 4 and you buy the same captain from the store, you get a universal commendation which you can use on any captain. So make sure that you level up 1 captain ASAP to legendary 4 and farm universals. So we have the Atago here, and the Atago is a threat to us. I was blind firing the right hand side of my torpedoes because I wasn't sure if the Atago was moving straight forward, but we now find out that the Atago is gonna sneak between these 2 islands. So we're just gonna wait here and make sure he's coming around, and then we drop the torpedoes. Shortly after, we won ahead between the 2 red caps and going for the Odin. You will see the Odin is very low in health. So we fire up the speed boost and we close in, and we have to make sure the Kagero, the remaining DD, is not around. So we plan to turn left and put our guns on the right hand side. As I said in the beginning, you have to plan ahead in the French DDs. So wherever you want to have the engagement, you put the guns. So we plan to engage the Odin, so that's why the guns have been turned to the right. Our concealment at the moment is 4.2, 4.3 because the speed boost is active. So we don't have to worry for the Odin to spot us, but since it's that low, we want to ignite a fire to get it down. Before we do that, we turn a little bit more leftish, and you can see the Odin guns turn to the right, so he's not a threat. Just the secondaries may hit us, but we're out of range of his secondaries, so there's no threat. And the Boise to the left is far out, so he's no threat either. It's safe to open fire, and the Odin got killed by somebody else. So now we're gonna cap the D cap, which will be the second solo cap. Again, lots of credits, lots of points, and playing the objective. And since nobody's around, my team left the Boise over, so the next plan is to kill the Boise. Because we can now play risky, we have 5 friendly ships and only 2 enemies left. So we're planning to ambush the Boise with the guns to the left, but we have a torpedo set on the right. And before I do an ambush run, I send the opposite torpedo set as a distraction. You know, being a cruiser, you are being challenged with the message torpedoes incoming, and you are distracted for 2-3 seconds, which gives me enough time to close the range. Remember, we have 4.3 concealment range, so the Boise will spot me at 4.3, and then he will have the message torpedoes incoming, so he can't even shoot at me. He needs to maneuver around the torpedoes, or this is going to happen. What's going to happen now? Bye-bye. If he hadn't taken the torpedo, you saw I was already at 4 kilometers, so I probably had gunned him down with my reload booster and AP then. Always make sure you use AP. As you can see in the results, even that wasn't an extraordinary special game, the results are pretty decent, and especially the XP earned with 3,100 due to the 2 solo caps. They really show you how important it is to play the objectives and to stick to what you're supposed to do, which is spotting, capping and killing battleships. Thanks for watching, thanks for joining my channel, and looking forward to providing more videos to you. Let me know what I can improve, how you like it, and see you soon. Thank you very much, bye bye.